You want to learn Spanish this year, but you not only want to be able to understand it, you want to be able to express yourself with it. Like you want to be yourself in Spanish. Often you don't know how or where to start. So today I'm going to share with you 5 easy and daily routines that I did when I learned English, Chinese, and Italian. I love these routines because each one will take you 15 minutes and no, it won't melt your brain. I've been doing that for over a decade now and I recommend them to my own students. So here are my favorite 5 routines. The why game. This one is really simple but very effective because it makes you speak more without needing lots of vocabulary. Most people can say basic sentences in Spanish, right? But then they stop. And it's not always because they don't know Spanish, it's because they don't know how to continue. They're not used to keeping it rolling. So we're going to just say or write a simple sentence. And then you force yourself to continue with por qué. Me gusta Granada porque hace sol. Porque la gente es amable. You can tell me, but Lucia, I don't know how to say this or that. Well, this is where you need to get curious. That is how you learn Spanish. Don't be afraid to look things up. Translate things, ask me. If you don't know how to say it, find out and then speak with it. The goal here is not perfect grammar. Is to keep your brain active while talking, to give you that flow so we don't keep cutting ourselves off once we finish a sentence. We are getting ourselves used to expressing ourselves in Spanish, feeling more confident to say more rather than feeling stuck. So the more Spanish that you speak, the better at speaking Spanish you will become. Even if your por qué is simple, it is still Spanish. Now you can try to expand these sentences with your own experience. Write in the comments and share them with me. Me gusta el café porque quiero aprender español porque hoy estoy feliz porque the cringy video routine. I am warning you right now in Twitter, you might feel a little bit awkward at first. I used to do this when I was at university improving my English, but it also helped me to feel more confident. And see, it was cringy, but no one saw those videos but me. And it was kind of like eliminating them awkward moments that kept happening in conversations, but all done in the privacy of your own home. I promise you, it's one of the fastest ways to start speaking Spanish with more confidence. Pick a topic, anything simple like your day, your week, what you ate, a childhood story, your plans, your city, your dog, your cat, whatever you want. And then set up a timer for 30 seconds to a minute and just talk, like you're sending a voice note to a friend. Talk with what you already know. Do not prepare for it. Just say the Spanish that you already have in your brain. But don't worry, because the magic happens here. You start speaking, and when you don't know a word, do not stop. Just say in English or in your native language and keep going. Keep it up. Keep talking in Spanish. So maybe you say something like, Hoy voy a bowling con mis amigos. Vamos en autobús y I'm excited. You just keep talking and then you watch the video back, and every time that you say a word in English or you got stuck, just write it down. In that example, we said bowling, I'm excited. So you quickly search those words in Spanish and you write them down. And then repeat the whole dialogue again with the new Spanish words or sentence structures that you have found. I actually recommend you to record yourself because it actually makes you more self-aware, seeing yourself in action. It helps you keep things more natural, and at the end of the day, you will be speaking Spanish with other people. But if it's too cringy for you at first, you can also do a voice note. This routine is basically like a daily speaking workout. Speak, notice the gaps, fill the gaps, and speak again. And the more you do it, the less cringy it will feel, I promise. And the more confident you will feel. Aventurero, just remember, you don't need more time, you just need to know what you're doing. If you alternate between one of these routines each day, I promise you that your Spanish will level up massively in a matter of a few weeks with just 15 minutes a day. Pick your pattern. Most people think learning Spanish is about learning more words or memorizing more expressions, but the real magic is being exposed to the patterns in a natural way, because that is what lets you create. If you know the patterns, you can say 1,000 things even with simple vocabulary. Many students get scared or bored when they hear the word grammar. Oh my god, Spanish grammar is so hard, I can't learn it, I hated grammar in school, how am I supposed to learn it? Well, I do love grammar and I do see it as a painting technique. Each technique allows you to paint a fuller picture in Spanish. And when you know how to paint in one way with one technique, you suddenly unlock a new way to express yourself. Spanish is the art form and grammar is the technique. So instead of studying grammar, I want you to collect techniques and patterns. I do have a visual Spanish grammar book designed around this idea, but you can use any grammar book. First you read it, just take it in. Look at the structure, the examples, and see those motivational notes too if you're using my book. Then you use what you've learned to start making sentences, to start using what you have just learned. This is the key part. Use the vocabulary that is relevant to you and your life and say sentences that you will actually use. So take the grammar and just make it yours. And no, you don't need 30 sentences. You just need like 6, 8, enough to make it feel like it's yours. Because when you create your own examples, your brain stops seeing it as grammar and starts seeing it as your Spanish. And that's why this routine works so well in 15 minutes, because you get exposed to a structure, you see in context, and then you put it into your world. You can explore my visual and Spanish grammar book today with the free chapter that I have left in the description. The question answer routine. This one is so simple, but it's honestly one of the best ways to stop freezing in conversations. Because real life Spanish isn't random, it's the same type of questions again and again. So what I want you to do is this. Think of 4, 5, or 6, or maybe 10 questions that you could realistically hear this week. Like if you travel, you're at work with a friend in a cafe, meeting someone new, you know, those kind of questions. And if you're like, Lucia, but I don't know what questions to choose, don't worry. You can use the ones that I put in the description, you can ask AI, or you can literally send me an email and I will give you some. Now, once you got your questions, set up a timer for 15 minutes and answer them. Just write them down. If you need to look at some words, do it. And once you're happy with what you have expressed, say it aloud. This last step is super important because we need to move your Spanish from writing it to speaking it. Depending on your level, you can use different structures and tenses, but even one sentence is enough. So maybe your question is, ¿Qué haces hoy? Your answer can be, Hoy trabajo, or Hoy estudio en casa, or Hoy no tengo planes porque vienen mis primos de visita. You see, you can even add the little por qué exercise that we talked about at the beginning to really start building out your expression. But after writing the sentences down, try to answer them again, but without looking. Same questions, same answers, but just try from memory. And then if you want to level things up, just change things around. Change the verb, change the place, change the noun. So, hoy estudio en casa becomes mañana estudio en casa. Or hoy estudio en la cafetería. Or hoy desayuno en la cafetería. See? This routine is basically training your brain to answer faster and faster and making conversations feel familiar instead of scary. Speaking confidence. Spanish has its own music, its own style, and this is something that most learners never train. So even if you know lots of vocabulary, your mouth is still moving in an English rhythm. And then your Spanish doesn't really flow. The beauty of this routine is that you don't have to know vocabulary, grammar, expressions. You don't even need to know Spanish at all. But it will solidify Spanish melody in your brain so your Spanish sounds more natural. First, choose a short clip, like 10 to 30 seconds. A part of a podcast, a YouTube line, a reel, even one of my videos. Anything is fine as long as it's short and completely in Spanish. Listen to it once or twice. If it has subtitles, read them along, and if it doesn't, just try to think of the word. Try to visualize them or write them down. But the important thing in this routine is that you actually focus on the melody, the intonation, the feeling of Spanish. Play again and again, as many times as you need, so you start feeling the Spanish rhythm behind the words. And then when you are ready, start repeating with the audio at the same time. Mirror the voice that you hear along the audio. At the beginning, it's normal if it feels messy, you will miss words, you will trip, that is completely okay. The goal is keeping up and copying the sound. So you do that 2 or 3 times or as many times as you want. And then try without the audio. Just repeat the same lines from memory. If you want to make this exercise in a more powerful way, after you shadow it, you take one sentence from the clip and change it so you can talk about your own life. So if the clip says something like, hoy he estado súper ocupada, then you steal the rhythm and make it yours, but change the words. Hoy he estado súper cansada. I'm sure that you have heard about the shadowing technique before, but I had to include it here because this technique changed my English completely. It gave me a better intonation, better speed, and it made me feel way more comfortable. Remember that I've left a free chapter of my visual Spanish grammar book in the description, so grab it, explore it, do your 15 minutes with it today, and let me know how it goes. Also, feel free to include your own routine in the comments or tell me which routine from this video you're going to try. Aventurero, give this video a like so I know it's helping you, subscribe for more Spanish, and share with a friend who is also trying to learn Spanish this year. Y nos vemos en la próxima parada. ¡Hasta luego!